Good morning, everybody. Rob here at WesternPacificWeather.com. It is currently the 20th of October 2010, right around 0900 Hong Kong time. That is right around 01 Zulu for the rest of you worldwide here. And we are still watching 15W here, or MEGI. It's located currently to the northwest of Manila and about 1,000 miles to the south of Hong Kong right in here. And the system is starting to actually gradually make its turn towards the north now. There's the tropical ridge starting to weaken up here to the north. So in the last several frames here, you can start to see this little wobble up towards more a northerly direction. But right now, though, seeing winds out of this system right around 100 knots, expecting this to gradually intensify up to about 125 knots later over the next 24 hours. But then actually begun to weaken after that. So very good news for the southeast China coast here. And as far as over to Taiwan, still need to closely monitor this system here. But actually lots of wind shear starting to set on up here, shown on this chart, showing about up to 30 to 40 knots of wind shear to the north of the system over China and over to Taipei. Now this is very good news actually, as the polar front jet is starting to dip down pretty far to the south here. And as this system starts to work farther north, it will gradually work into the shear and eventually dissipate over China and Taiwan and slowly weaken as it makes that approach as well. Even though sea surface temperatures shown on this chart are still well in the above the moisture, the heat surface temperature you need for the system to develop, well above 90 degrees right now. It will slowly work out of that high heat surface content, but still, this shear is a big killer for the storm at the moment. Here's the current streamline analysis showing that weakness in a subtropical ridge to the north. This is what's actually moving this whole system up far northerly here. Still going to be a very strong system at landfall. I do want to note that, though. Looking at landfall right around 90 knots to 100 knots, so a very strong system, but much weaker than what we're showing right now, and definitely not going to reach the typhoon strength that we saw as it made landfall in the Philippines. Here's the official forecast from the Hong Kong Observatory, still showing that northerly progression, but they're actually betting on this moving back towards the northwest, towards Hong Kong. Don't think that's actually going to do quite a jog back that way. Actually, I'm thinking more of a northerly direction, as shown on JTWC's warning, where it makes landfall to the northeast of Hong Kong, more towards Shantel, but well west of Taiwan here. But still, Taiwan definitely needs to keep on watching this storm, as this weakness in the subtropical ridge up here, if it does weaken anymore, they actually see more of a recurvature towards Taiwan. And actually, one of the models, the GFS model, is more picking up on that as this system moves more northerly. It'll actually make a curve towards the northeast, but a much weaker system as it gets wrapped up in that system. So that's actually really good news. If it does end up turning towards the northeast, you'll actually see a much weaker system. Still typhoon strength, but not quite the intensity, up around 100 knots. Actually, if we zoom out on the satellite picture, I'll show you this long area of low pressure extending clear from Japan down towards southeast China right in here. And this is actually what's picking up on that northeast progression. As this system starts to move north, this entire area is being supported by the polar front jet. And actually, this overall storm is actually going to get picked up in the end after it makes landfall over China and start to follow along the stationary boundary right in here. But right now, though, some of the models are actually picking up a more of a movement towards Hong Kong and then going off towards this way. And as I already stated, GFS model is actually picking it up on going through the Taiwan Strait. But this is actually very good news, though, this entire region right in here, as this will slowly weaken the storm and start to make it lose its warm core capacity as it moves over China. So, but right now, though, we still have a very strong typhoon on our hands, and I would not underestimate it, especially about the rainfall. We know that this region is still suffering from massive floodings on here. That's actually really good news, as the storm will start to move to the east of Vietnam here, so kind of sparing Vietnam. Still going to see some outer rain bands out there, but still southeast China in here suffering from massive floods all this year, and Taiwan still recovering from our last typhoon out there. So it's still a very potent, dangerous storm with winds up to actually max forecast and intensity on this, looking right around 125 knots. So a very dangerous storm right now. And lastly, I want to show you this here. Back in the Philippines, I'm viewing this on this person's channel right here. This person was in Isabela when the storm made landfall, and some very destructive videos here. Overall damage there is very sad. There's so much damage out there, and the agricultural loss, as shown in that last picture, is very widespread. The rice crop looking like it was just about to ready to be harvested here as well. So very sad in a situation out in the Philippines. still reports of up to about 13 people actually dead in these storms right now. So it's a very dangerous or sad situation out there, and it's still dangerous as much of this world is still around. So thank you very much for this upload as well. If you have anybody else has some videos that they would like to upload as well, and please share them with me. I'll post them on my website here. That is all for this morning, everybody. As we still continue to watch 15W here, as already noted, everybody from Hainan all the way over to Taiwan is a closely monitored storm for a potential landfalling typhoon in this entire region. But if you have any questions, please field me to them at westernpacificweather.com. You can also find me at storm2k.org. Some very meteorological sound people there as well. If you can't get through to me, they can all answer your questions there as well. So have a good day, everybody, and I'll have another update again this evening. Bye.